Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make George's house from the movie Captain Underpants. If you enjoyed the tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. It helps me out so much more than you guys could possibly imagine. Oh, and also, I have also made a tutorial for Harold's house as well. I've also made a tutorial for Harold and George's treehouse. I'd recommend building that in the back garden of George's house. I've even made Harold and George's school as well. You can find each one of those many tutorials in both the card system and the description below. I will make them very easy for you guys to find. You can make them in any order that you like, and you can make them whenever you like, if you even do. But that's absolutely everything. Why don't I show you how to make George's house? So, to begin, I should let you know that roughly speaking, George's house requires a 33 by a 44 block area. That is 33 blocks covering the width of the house and 44 blocks going from the front of the house to the back of the house. That includes all of the garden, the garage, everything that you might have seen at the start of the video. We also need all of these materials that you can see in my inventory right now. I don't think we'll be needing any others. I say think because I am very forgetful, but if we do need more stuff, it shouldn't be too much more than what we have here. Make sure that you have everything. Make sure that you have enough space. And if you do create an area like me that is going to lay out where the house is going to be inside, I'm going to begin by counting in from the front left-hand corner of the house. I'm going to find the 5th block to the right. This is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And then I'm going to count inwards by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, I guess I miscounted that. But this is the 10th block. You definitely want to start 5 blocks to the right, 10 blocks in. And we're going to start off with a row of 4 yellow concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. How embarrassing. We really should have started from where the yellow block was, but this is where the yellow block should have been, and that is where I placed it. I'm so stupid. We then want to take that 4th yellow block, and we want to go to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect that 6th block down to the ground like this. So we have a nice open archway. We then want to place in front of the left-hand side of this empty space here, like where we have this empty space on the left of the archway, we want to place 3 white concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3. And we want to do the same on the right as well, so like coming outwards diagonally of this part of the garage. 1, 2, 3. Connect those 3rd blocks together at the top using quartz slab. We then want to fill in inside of the space using quartz stairs. So 1 row behind all of this, we simply want to place some quartz stairs. And this will give us kind of like that classic garage door effect. So something like that is really good. And then if we come behind this, we're going to want to place blocks to the left and right of the stairs, and that'll mean that you can't see into the garage from the outside. Just like that. Also, whilst we are here, you want to take the 3 yellow concrete blocks above and behind the quartz slabs, extend each one of them upwards by 1, including an additional block for the middle block, like this. Then we are going to take the 1st row of 4 that we placed, the left-hand side of the garage. We want to take the top block and we want to place 4 up left diagonals coming that way. So it'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do 4 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then connect down to the ground like this. You can also fill in this empty space using your yellow concrete, and that is what I would recommend doing. Simply fill in the empty space using your yellow concrete like that. But what we now want to do is we want to take the back of the garage and we want to extend it over to the left using our yellow concrete, and it wants to be in line with the opposite side of the front of the garage. So you just want to copy what you have on the front in regards to width, and you just want to place yellow concrete in such a manner that you can create a back wall for the garage that looks exactly like this. You then want to connect the right hand side of the garage together, front to back, so simply fill in all of this empty space that we have here using yellow concrete. All of this can be filled in until it is as high as the opposite side. And we also want to create the same shape, this, on this side of the garage, which means all we have to do is look directly forward and copy what we have done on that opposite side. And I don't think that it will require much more thinking than that, other than literally looking forwards and copying what you have already made. We now have to place a roof. The roof is quite simple in that we want to start on the back of the garage, and we want to place a row of stonework stairs on top of the very back of the garage like this. And then one row above and one row inwards, we want to place another row of stonework stairs. And another. And one more. And it would benefit us to then place a row of stonework slabs on top of the middle part of the roof. And then we want to work our way down the front. So that means that we're going to be placing rows of stonework stairs coming down the front of the garage, just as you can see me placing now. But the thing is, when you get to where, like here, you're going to want to place these stonework stairs, and you want to have these stonework stairs wrap around the little part of the garage that is raised on the front. So like that. And then you're also going to want to do this as well. And we also kind of want to extend outwards in front of the garage by like one row, like this. So like extending out in front of the yellow shape that we have like this. And we also want to put stonework slabs on top of the middle part of this. And these stonework slabs also want to be extended by one row. We are then going to place ourselves upside down quartz stairs underneath each one of those overhanging stone bricks, like this. And we are also, I'm trying to see, so what we also want to do is we want to create a layer of stonework stairs that overhangs the side of the garage. This also accounts for the stonework slab that you have at the top of the garage as well. All of this wants to overhang like this. That's perfect. And what we also want to do is we want to place upside down quartz stairs underneath each one of the overhanging stone brick stairs. This creates a very nice effect, like that. And also on the other side as well. We do want both of these sides to be the same, hence why we are doing the same thing to both sides. And to add a minor finishing touch, we want to place quartz slabs underneath the last overhanging stonework stairs, extend the quartz slabs forwards in front of the build by one, and then connect them together side to side, like that. That puts a very nice finishing touch onto each one of the sides of the garage. So underneath the stonework stairs like this, extended backwards like so, and then connected together like that. And we should have something which should look very much like that. That's looking good if I do say so myself. Next, we want to come to the front right hand corner of the garage. Make sure that you have oak fence and oak planks. You want to take the bottom front right hand corner of the garage and go right of it by 1 using oak fence, and then an oak plank, and then an oak fence. You then want to place a grey concrete to the right, with 11 yellow concretes on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then place 5 upper right diagonal yellow blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend that 5th block towards the ground, but it does not want to connect to the ground, as we want to place a grey concrete on the ground where it would otherwise connect to it. And you can extend the grey concrete all the way over to the left like this, just to make sure that that all fits together nicely. We also want to create an entrance for the house. The entrance is going to begin on top or left of the last yellow concrete that we placed, and we want to place a white concrete to the left of the last yellow concrete. Go up by 2, 1, 2, left by 2, 1, 2, and down by 2, 1, 2. Place 2 rows of yellow concrete left of the upper hand of the door, 1, 2. Place a grey concrete, 1 below, and then 2 glass left of the grey, 1, 2, followed by a finishing touch of grey concrete. Then, on top of this window area, place 4 rows of yellow concrete. 1 row, 2, 3, 4. Then, on top of the left block, place a grey concrete, 2 glass to the right, a grey concrete, and copy that row for the next row on top of it to create another window. Then, going right of the grey concrete, place a row of yellow, followed by a row of grey, 2 rows of glass, 1, 2, with a finishing touch of grey. We then want to take the middle area between the windows and place 2 yellow on top of the middle area. 1, 2. With 2 glass on top of this. 1, 2. So we want to have something which should look exactly like that. The rest of the front of the house can be filled in using yellow concrete. The only area that we don't strictly want to fill in at the moment is the area where the doorway is going to go, which is made out of white concrete. There we go. That's perfect. If you like, you can even place an iron door where the actual door is going to go, just to give you a little bit of a finishing touch. Use quartz slabs underneath each one of the particular windows where the glass is, and this will create window sills and also a little bit more of detail. So something like this will look really nice. The next thing we have to do is we have to add the porch onto the house. It's quite easy. If we begin from the bottom front grey concrete block at the base of the house, we want to place 3 quartz slabs coming out from this grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. And this is off of the floor. Then place a white concrete, and then place 4 white concrete on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go left of that 4th concrete by 2, or by 3 rather, using quartz slabs. 1, 2, 3. Place a white concrete, 5 more slabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a white concrete. Connect the white concrete to the front of the house using quartz slabs, and also do the same on the opposite side, so connect the other row of white concrete to the house using quartz slabs. We then want to connect each one of the white concrete blocks down to the ground, and this will create each one of the corners of the porch area. We want to be able to walk up onto the porch, and this area is between these two sets of pillars, and we want to place quartz stairs here like this, just so that we're able to walk up onto the actual porch. However, the rest of the area we want to place a row of quartz slabs connecting all of the white concretes together like this, half a row off of the floor. We also want to create what I'll call banisters, and this is very easy. So like on the left hand side, you take the middle quartz slab, place 2 quartz slabs on top, and then take the top quartz slab and extend it forwards and backwards by 1 to create kind of like railings, a banister, whatever you want to call it. And you do a similar thing here, like you leave a gap of 1, place a quartz block, gap of 1, place a quartz block, and then you connect all of this together to create kind of like railings, a banister, whatever it is that you do want to call it. It's completely up to you. And we want to do the same thing here on the right as well. Just on the right of the porch, we take the middle block up by 2 using quartz slabs, front and back like this to create railings. We then want to fill the center of the porch in using grey concrete, or at least that's what I'm going to use, because it contrasts very, very nicely with the quartz, and it also is the foundation of the house as well, so it does also make sense. There we go. Grab the stone brick slabs. So here's the thing. You want to fill in this area above the porch using stonework slabs. You want to begin 1 row inside of the actual top front of the porch, so like here, and you want to place a row of stonework slabs going from left to right like that. And then you want to half a row above and behind place another row of stonework slabs. And then half a row above and behind this, place another row of stonework slabs like this. Fill in any empty space that is left on the porch on the left and right hand side, and the effect that we're looking for should look very similar to this. A nice finishing touch to place in front of the porch is some jungle leaves in front of the large portion of the porch, which you can see underneath of. It's kind of nice to place some jungle leaves. Also, if we want to be a bit more factually accurate, actually we'll add it later. We will add that later. There's like a letterbox or a post box or whatever you want to call it, like out in front of the house, but we'll add it later when we're doing paths and stuff. So this is what we want to have so far. We have a nice portion of the house made. The next thing, however, is going to be for us to add windows to the right hand side of the house. So if you come to the front of the house and you find the 2 windows on the second story of the house, and you can see where the windows are, where they're positioned, well, you can see these 2 yellow concrete blocks that are connected to this window. We want to place grey concrete coming out from these yellow concrete blocks that are also connected to the windows on the front. Then place 2 rows of glass to the right of the grey concrete, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a row of grey concrete, then a row of yellow concrete, then a row of grey, 2 glass, 1, 2, 1, 2, grey concrete, and then yellow concrete like this. So we then want to extend this row of yellow concrete that we have here down toward the ground. However, it does not want to connect to it because we want to place a grey concrete block that does actually connect to it. Extend the grey concrete towards the front of the house and fill in underneath the windows using yellow concrete. So this is going to make up the mass majority? What am I talking about? The mass majority of the right hand side of the house, which basically means most of the right hand side of the house. Like that. And we also want to place rows of yellow on top of the window as well until the right hand side of the house is equal to the front of the house in terms of wall size. You can also place the quartz slabs underneath the windows as well, underneath the glass, to further highlight those windows. We then want to come to the back of the house now, and we want to begin by taking the bottom of the back of the house, which is where this grey concrete is, and we want to place a row of grey concrete that extends to the right, and then also connects to the front of the house like this. Like that. And then what we want to do on the back of the house, it's actually very simple. We want to copy what we have on the front of the house. So if this makes sense, you can see where we have that entrance over there. You want to copy it onto the back of the house like this. It's quite simple. All you have to do is literally copy what you have on the front of the house onto the back of the house. Typically speaking, I would give you measurements and I would explain in great detail where things go, but I think it's quite easy to literally look directly forwards and copy what is on the front of the house, except this time it's just on the back. I think that is a much easier way of doing things, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm hoping that you don't get yourself into any sort of mess. Just literally copy what you can see in front of you. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm not looking at my plans. I'm not looking at anything else. I don't know where things go without measurements, without my plans. I'm literally just looking directly forwards and I'm just copying what I can see. And I hope that you guys will manage to do the same thing, and you should end up with something once it's filled in, because I know that there's some yellow down here. You should end up with something that should so far look like this, and you can see it's identical to the front of the house. It's just mirrored. We also want to have these, like what we have on the front of the house, we also want to have the same window in the middle. And we also want to have the same roof shape that we have on the front of the house as well. So once more, simply copy what can be seen on the front of the house directly onto the back, and you can't really go too wrong. We also want to place quartz slabs underneath each one of the windows, as we have done in every single case before, like this. And I'm also going to add a door where the back door is, an iron door to be exact. I'll also place a quartz stairs in front of that, and a white concrete either side like this, just to highlight the door a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. There we go. So far we should have something that looks like this. That's the side, and as you can see, the back of the house is very, very similar to the front of the house. However, what we're also going to do is we are going to fill in the entire left-hand side of the house using yellow concrete. From what I've observed, there is no windows or anything on this particular side of the house, so it can just be filled in using yellow concrete like this. So it's the same size, it's the same area as the opposite side of the house. It's just that there is no sort of detail here, so it's actually quite easy to build. Very, very fast indeed. Now, let's do the actual roof. The roof is made up of quartz stairs, stonework stairs, and quartz slabs. And actually, also, even later on, a little bit of terracotta too. The sides of the roof are going to be made out of quartz stairs. So place a row of quartz stairs on the left-hand side of the house, and also the right-hand side of the house as well. This is placed directly on the outside of the two sides of the house. You can even place a row of quartz slabs that sits directly on top of the house that connects from the front to the back, like this. We then want to place rows and rows and rows of stacked stonework stairs that are one row above and one row inwards in relation to the previous row of quartz stairs and the previous rows of each other. So all that means is that they gradually stack upwards and upwards and upwards, like any roof that you've probably seen in the past does. So we're going for this sort of effect right here. We want the same on the opposite side. One row above and one row inside of the yellow concrete. We want to place our rows of stone brick stairs like this, gradually working our way upwards until we do reach the apex, which is already marked out for us using some quartz slabs. So we want to have something which should look like this. we want to take the quartz stairs and the stone brick stairs and we want to extend them outwards and forwards by 1 row using the quartz stairs and the quartz slab as well when we hit the top. And this is going to give the roof a bit more needed detail. And we want to place upside down quartz stairs underneath the overhanging part of the roof like this, just to make it look a bit more interesting. So something like that looks very nice. And then if we come to the back of the roof as well, we want to extend it backwards by 1 row like this using the quartz stairs. The quartz slab as well wants to be extended backwards, and we just want to have something which should look exactly like this. And then the upside down quartz stairs as well underneath the overhanging quartz stairs and the quartz slab in the center as well, right at the top of course. And we just want to have something which should look very much like that. So now, as you can see, we do have a very nice house. You might even want to place maybe like a torch or something inside of the porch, perhaps next to the entrance, just to keep things a little bit brighter. So the next couple of things that we have to add include some paths and some grass and stuff. So I'm going to need stone slabs, some lime terracotta. I also want to grab the oak fence, light grey concrete, and also wooden trapdoors. So we want to have a couple of paths in front of the house. The first path is from it takes us from the street to the actual front door of George's house. So I'm going to destroy a few rows of grass in front of the 3 quartz stairs that we have at the front of the house like this, leading outwards in front of the house like that. So that's pretty good. I want to fill this in using stone slabs like this. So that's what the path's going to be made out of. It's going to be stone slabs like this. So I want it to come out as far as the box that I've created to build the house in. You yourself, however, are more than free, of course, to figure out like how far it is you want the house to be away from the street and stuff. Whilst I'm here, I'm also going to create a 2-block pavement that comes out of the last 2 rows of stone slabs, and this is going to be part of the street which will eventually connect us to Harold's house, which will be built on the right. I also want to create a stone path to the left of the path as well, here. And this stone path is also going to be part of the pavement as well. You know what, like pedestrians and people walk on, people in the surrounding area. And this is also going to lead us to the outer perimeter of the front of the house as well. Once again, it's up to you to determine how big your pavement is and where it is exactly. I'm going to connect the garage to the pavement. So I want to have the width of the garage door from like the left-hand row of white concrete to the right-hand row of white concrete. I want to have that width to be able to have a driveway. And if you like, you can even place a car inside of the driveway. I do believe that George's family has a green car, if I am correct in thinking that. So we want to have something which should look like that. We've got a nice little bit of path area. There is a letterbox in the corner of the left of the path, which takes you to the front entrance and takes you to the left. It's this block right here. We want to place an oakwood fence, light grey concrete on top, one trapdoor in front of that, like that. That's looking pretty good. We also have to establish a fence. So we placed a fence earlier, if you guys can remember. It's actually made out of oakwood planks and oak fence. So we need the oakwood planks again. We want to raise up this little bit of fence here by 1 using the oakwood planks and 1 using the oakwood fence. That is as high as the actual fence goes. And you actually want to move out of the left-hand side of the garage here in the same, just left of the yellow concrete. And we're going to have the same pattern. It's going to be a fence, plank, fence, plank, like this. And I'm going to continue this fence pattern, so it's going to be a fence, plank, fence, plank. I'm actually going to continue this fence pattern, and I'm going to place it all the way around my perimeter, so I know how far backwards I want my garden to be. I've already laid it out in the ground, but you are going to have to determine, and I do mean you know what, if you're building this, if you want to figure out where your garden's going to be, you're going to have to determine how big you want the back garden to be. I would recommend building it as big as I have, or you can do it a little bit smaller, but the point of the matter is that you want to be able to fit in the treehouse into the back garden. So that's completely up to you, how far back you do want the house to come. But I do want to let you know that the fence for the house, the front of the house, actually connects somewhere here on the right hand side of the house. It's not like right to the bottom front right hand corner, it's like here, this third block or so. We want to be able to connect the fence like this. And we want to double up the fence, so we want to place on top of each one of the oak fence, we want to place an additional oak fence, and on top of every single oak plank, we want to place an additional oak plank. And this is going to be a very lengthy part of the actual tutorial, so I'm just going to raise the music and continue doing this myself. And also the fence as well. Just like that. So in doing that, we have created a nice fence that goes all the way around the outside of the house. And we also have enough room in the back garden that allows us to build the treehouse at a later date. But there's a couple of things that I want to do, and there's a couple of things that I would recommend doing. So the house is lacking both a drain pipe and a chimney. We want to place a row of cobblestone wall on the right hand side of the front right hand corner of the house, leading from the roof down to the ground, and that is simply a drain pipe. You can even flare it out at the bottom like this if you want to have something that looks a bit more realistic. There is also a chimney on the middle left hand side of the house, somewhere near the top. This is not a science, it really doesn't matter where you place this exactly as long as it's here. But if you choose somewhere near the middle top of the roof, like this is the middle of the roof, I can pretty much tell. You find the second stairs down, this, I'm going to destroy it, place a terracotta block inside of it. I'm going to destroy the terracotta block to the right, place that there. And then I'm going to raise up these terracottas each by one. I'm going to destroy the row of stairs just below the row of terracotta. I'm going to place terracotta inside. And I'm going to equal the height of the terracotta itself. Then I'm going to make it half a row higher than the actual roof. And that is a good position for the chimney. But as long as the chimney is half a row higher than the actual roof of the house itself, and as long as it's somewhere in the middle towards the top, it really isn't a massive deal how it ends. So something like that looks really nice. And we are approaching the end of this tutorial, but there are a few more things that you might want to do. I'm going to grab the diamond shovel, the lime terracotta, and some bone meal. So on the back of the house specifically, I like the idea of shoveling the area at the back door a little bit to create a bit of grass path that makes it look as though the area is a bit worn. I also like the idea of bone mealing the grass as well in the back garden to give us some much needed but very easy detail. So, something like this, if you just heavily bone meal the area, perhaps you could even grow some smaller trees in the back garden as well, or if you know of some other details that exist in the house that I've missed, then please do add them in the back garden, although I don't know if I have. So something like that will look fine. I would also highly recommend destroying all of the grass that exists on the front of the house. Now, this is the front of the house that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the grass on the back of the house, as we have just bone mealed it. This is all of the grass on the front of the house. I'm going to replace this with lime terracotta, like that. So I'm going to turn the regular grass into lime terracotta because I think it looks a little bit nicer. A last detail that you might want to do, and this is incredibly boring and not worth it in my opinion, you might want to take the outer part of the fence and place signs in front of the oak wood, in front of the, what are they called? Oak fence, like this. Now, it looks cool. It's a lot of work. You might want to add that bit of detail, maybe just to the front of the house. It's completely up to you. You can do it all the way around. It's really, really boring to do though. But you can add that detail all the way around the house if you want. It does make the fence look a bit better and a bit more interesting. But I'll tell you what. Let me clean up the front of the house. Let me destroy all the grass, place lime terracotta there instead. Let me get rid of all of these numbers. Maybe even add a little bit of colour inside of the windows to make the windows pop. And then the tutorial will be done. And that'll be it. So why don't I go away? I'll do that. I'm sure that you guys would be able to take those steps yourselves anyway. And I'll show you what it looks like once all of that's been accomplished. And here we are. As you can see, I have dug out all of the grass in front of the house. I've replaced it with lime terracotta because I really like how that looks. I even replaced a little bit under the fence as well. I've also placed light blue concrete inside of the windows because they pop a little bit more, and this is just a showpiece. I don't plan on actually using the house. And I do believe that that is that. And that's all I have to show you. Please do remember that I do have a tutorial for Harold's house as well, which will be placed directly to the right of this one. If you wanted to, you could even build Harold and George's treehouse in the back of this house. And you might even be able to see over there, not even too far away, that we have Jerome Horowitz Elementary School, which is, of course, Harold and George's school, which is right where the film starts, actually. I'm pretty sure they're both at school. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. I honestly would. If you hit that like, it really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to keep up with all of the stuff that I'm making. And click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you do want to see any more Captain Underpants builds, I'm not sure what I'd make from here though, I've made, I think, pretty much most of the important ones, then, you know, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you do want to see next, whether that's Captain Underpants or something completely different. Also, last thing, do remember that there is the card system in the description below, which has all of my other Captain Underpants builds in it, including all sorts of other cartoon related builds as well. Over there in the background you might be able to see the Boss Baby house and Boss Baby tree house. We have a bat cave over there, Paddington Bear's house. We have all sorts of stuff that is just actually, like, if the view distance was higher you'd see an insane amount of stuff. Well, unfortunately it's not that high, but thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember the card system in the description below, like the video, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you so much, I really do. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.